Hi, this is John Oakes from logicblogger.com, and in this video we're going to talk about creating posts on your WordPress blog. So here we're already logged into the dashboard of our example blog, collectworldcoins.com, and what we're going to do to create our first post is simply go over to Posts on the left-hand menu and click on the All Posts link. And actually this is not our first post because I did put a demo post in here already so that we could see how the thing was formatted and how our social media icons in a previous video were going to show. But we're going to pretend like that's not there and go ahead and create a new post by clicking the Add New button at the top of the screen. And this brings up the Add New Post screen. So in the very first field is where you're going to enter your title for your post. Now I've gone ahead and written a post that we're going to use for this, so I'm going to cut and paste it in. And the title we're going to use is the Top 10 Most Expensive World Coins. Because remember, this is a blog about collecting world coins. So we want to stay on topic with this example. And then in the HTML field here is where the content area of your post is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the content from the post that I've already pre-written. And we're going to go ahead and paste that into this HTML field here. So there we go. So when you're typing things in here, a double carriage return is going to insert a blank space, and it's pretty straightforward. You just type it in just like you would into Microsoft Word or any other similar text editor, and you can go ahead and proofread it, make sure the text is fine the way you want it as you're writing your post. And then once you get to the point where you want to save that, you just click the Save Draft button over here to the right, and then you have a saved copy of that. Now this is not going to be visible on your blog or public on your blog until you hit the Publish button here. So we want to do a few more things to our post before we actually publish it and make it available. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to choose a category. Now you can choose a category that's pre-set up for you. I believe by default WordPress is only going to have the uncategorized category. So to create new ones, you just click on Add New Category, type in a new category, and click the Add New button, and that adds it to it. We've already created one for collector coins, and we're just going to put everything under that category. Now post tags is another important thing that you want to use. It does give you a little bit more added value for search engine optimization. So it's important to add some tags. So this post again is about the top 10 most expensive world coins. So what we might do is grab a few select keywords that would be related to that. And you can just type them in here separated by a comma, or you can add each one individually by just typing it in and clicking the Add button. I'm just going to add a few things in. And let's see, double eagle. So I'm just adding a few keywords in that are pertinent to some of the content within this post. Now for a really great explanation and a really cool tool that I use for creating tags for your post that are going to get you actual traffic in the search engines, there's a blog post link directly below this that you can check out. It'll give you all the details on that as well, so we're not going to cover that in this video. So once you've entered your post tags, then we can go back up and add a few more things into our post. And before I go there, let's quickly save a draft, and let's click on the preview button so you can see what this looks like. And this is what our post looks like right now. So it's kind of plain. There's not really anything great to look at there. It's just text. So what do you say we add a really nice graphic image right here to the beginning of our post? And I highly encourage using images in your post because it is something that kind of draws the eye and adds a little bit more interest to the post itself. So where do you get images to use? One of my favorites, of course, is Google Images. Now these are all images that are out there on the internet, so you do have to be careful about licensing issues, making sure you're not using graphics that are copyrighted or in use or created by someone else without permission using them. However, a lot of these, the vast majority of these images in Google Images are in the public domain and can be used freely on your blog. So let's type in our keyword. And actually what I should do is just type in one of the actual coins that we're talking about in the blog post, and then we can actually get a picture of it and use that image. There's a double eagle. Let's just go ahead and grab that. That's a really nice image. So we'll click on that. And I've just clicked on the image, and then when the image comes up, I can do a right mouse click and go to Save Image As. And then it's going to ask me where I want to save it. I'm just going to save it onto a location on my hard drive. And then we're going to go back to our blog. And this little button right here, up here where it says Upload and Insert, this one here, when you hover over it, it says Add an Image. If you click on that, it's going to bring up the Add Image screen. We can just hit Select Files. And then we will browse to the location where we saved that image. Open it up, and it goes ahead and uploads it to our server where our WordPress install is. We can go down here to the link URL and copy that, close that screen. I'm going to show you a nice little way of inserting images into your posts so that you maintain full control over the formatting of those, and it doesn't, show it above the text or throw it off onto the right or the left edge. It really kind of just makes it look nice where the text will wrap right around it perfectly. And what we're going to do is just a little bit of HTML. So you put in a bracket, type in the word div, D-I-V, space, style equals, and then inside double quotes, you're going to type in float colon left semicolon padding dash right colon 12px semicolon. And then on the other side of that double quote, we're going to put the end bracket, and then we're going to do another bracket, and here's where we're going to insert the image. So we're going to type in img space source src equals, and then inside double quotes you're going to paste in the actual link to the graphic itself. Then another ending bracket, and then we're going to end the div tag. So another bracket slash div end bracket. So there we have the full bit of code that we're going to put inside there. Now one other thing we're going to add to that real quick is going to be to resize that image so that it's not too big to display in our post. We like to be consistent with the images so that each blog post has its own image, so that each image is resized in a similar fashion on each blog post. So right after the img in the image tag, we're going to insert a space, width equals 150, and then we're going to save that as a draft. Now we're going to preview our blog post. And there we have it. So you can see what that did is it inserted that graphic image to the exact size that we wanted, 150 pixels width. It put 12 pixels of spacing on the right side so that our text was not butted right up on the graphic. And then it wrapped the text and it wrapped everything right around it. Now if you don't do it that way and you use WordPress's built-in image insertion, what often happens is your graphic's going to be stuck up here a little bit. The text starts wrapping, but it doesn't start until down here. Some of your social media buttons might be one over here, one over here. It just doesn't look as smooth and flow as smoothly as it does when you learn just a little bit of HTML and do it manually. So you can see that div code and that image code that we used, you can use over and over again in every one of your blog posts, and it will always ensure that the formatting is correct on your posts. So now let's go back and let's talk about inserting a video. So how do you insert a video from YouTube into a blog post? Let's say that right here under this paragraph we want to insert a video right there. So what we do is we go over to YouTube, and this could be one of your own videos or it could be a video from somebody else, or it could be a related video. I'm going to grab this one right here about the St. Gaudens double eagle coin. And let's say that we want to insert this one in. So once you're at the video page, you click on the share button and then the embed button, and it's going to give you the embed code. Now I would recommend that you uncheck this box that says show suggested videos when the video finishes, and then here you want to make sure that you get the right sizing. This is a little bit wide for where we want to put this, so let's change the width of our video to 470. Actually, let's make it 460 so we can be sure the width is going to fit within our page. And then we go up here and we grab this iframe code, copy it, and we paste it right into our blog. Now we go back here, hit Save Draft, and Preview. And now we have our blog post, and there's the video. Now you can see we actually had more space here for this video, so we could actually insert a larger size video in this. So let's say that we wanted to do that. We can just shoot back over here to the video on YouTube, and let's say we make that 520. And grab the new code, go back to our post, replace the old code with the new, save the draft, preview, and sometimes you have to refresh it a couple of times before the video shows up. And there it is. So we could probably put a full-size video in there, but this looks good. So now the video is embedded right into our blog post. Very, very simple. So now that we have the formatting and the content and everything looks good on our blog post, we can go ahead and publish it. So if we go back to the post, now we have a couple of choices. We can either click the publish button and it will publish this post immediately, or we can go up here where it says publish and click on the edit button, and we can choose to auto schedule this post to be posted sometime in the future. So let's say we want to post this today, but we want to post it in an hour from now, and this is a 24-hour time clock. Click OK, and then we go ahead and click schedule. Now that post is scheduled for August 15th at 14:57, which is 2:57 in the afternoon. And again, we can preview it. That's what the post looks like, and we are all good to go. So that concludes this video on publishing posts on your WordPress blog. Hope you found this useful, and we'll see you in the next video.